I don't know. You hear a pin drop because like nobody knew like what the heck was going on, and all you saw was just Tyson, just keep like he did it twice, I think, or 3 times, whatever the case may be, and then they call the fight, and it's just like everyone's like, now what?
Yeah, now
so
what?
yeah, I mean, I distinctly remember.
Well, because the question that everybody was asking around that time about Mike Tyson is he bat bleep crazy?
Yeah,
and the answer after that was yes, he is.
Yeah,
right. Mm-hmm. And so, but also, it was must-see TV to watch him fight and box. Mm-hmm. And I think the disappointment that night is he like answered your question that he is crazy so that you can't even if there was a part of you that loved him and wanted to root for him, you're like, I don't know if I can root for this guy. Just bit someone's ear. And they just called the fight, and I can't even watch him knock somebody out right now. So you're doubly mad.
But the whole vibe that I got, because I remember like how it all went down, but the whole vibe from the bowling alley was like, oh yeah, that's Tyson. People weren't really that upset that they just wasted their Saturday night and the fight got called off because, you bit somebody's ear and you don't get to see who wins. People were just like, yeah, I mean, like it's almost like they kind of expected something crazy to happen, and that was the crazy thing that happened.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. I remember thinking there was a little part of me was like, is this fixed in some way? Because boxing, of course, always had that kind of connotation. Yeah. And it's like, is this kind of like their way of trying to go all wrestling or whatever it was? Just all those different thoughts because it was so obscure and bizarre. Mm-hmm. And I just asked the question, and, you get caught asking these questions a lot in our world. Like, is it the most bizarre sporting moment ever? And I'm sure there's a list of them. But if you really start, like, racking your brain that you've seen, I mean, I just showed on TV the other day a brawl, and the guy threw the baseball bat at the pitcher. I mean, that's bizarre, right? But it's not like it's never happened.
Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, I talked about this story. I covered this story in Providence, not the Tyson fight one, but Izzy Alcantara, or Alcantara, depending on who was saying his name. Okay. He was a Pawtucket Red Sox player at the time, and he got hit by a pitch, and he drop kicked the catcher.
I remember that. I seen that one.
And I was like, I have never seen anything like that, and I'm surprised we don't see it more.
Yeah.
But this one we don't see again. Like, this might be like an all-timer one-moment thing, and it just adds to Tyson. One more question or two on that, but that happened in 1997 on this day, more than 20 summers ago. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Small business owners, apply now for the Jacksonville Small Business Executive Program that starts in August. Designed to help business owners and CEOs think strategically and become more efficient in running their business, this program is presented by the Jim Moran Institute, part of Florida State University's College of Business, offered at no cost to the participant. Program space is limited. Apply now at jimmoraninstitute.fsu.edu. That's jimmoraninstitute.fsu.edu.
Trucks, and more trucks, plus over 300 Primo pre-owned, all makes and all models. Find it all at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today. Arlington Toyota has some of the biggest pre-owned truck selection I've seen. I'm talking Tundras, Tacomas, imports, domestics. You'll find it all at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Even better, you have 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. And with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, almost everyone is approved. Plus, Arlington will give you top dollar for your trade. Shop safely in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
The weather is heating up, and so are the savings at Beard's Diamonds.
If you're about to pop the question, celebrate an anniversary or birthday, you're in luck. It's Beard's Diamonds' most exceptional finance offer of the year.
5 years, 0% financing with nothing down.
Yes, shop Beard's Diamonds' everyday low price on anything in the store or at beardsdiamonds.com. Then divide your total price by 60, and that's your monthly payment.
With absolutely nothing down.
How about a $6,000 three-stone designer setting?
You pay only $100 $5 a month.
Or a $4,500 1-carat diamond solitaire pendant necklace.
You pay just $75 a month.
And every purchase at Beard's Diamonds is backed by our free lifetime warranty.
Now you can go bigger and get her the diamond ring she's always dreamed about and spread your payment out for 5 years and pay absolutely nothing in interest.
But hurry, just like an afternoon shower, these savings will be gone. Shop now at beardsdiamonds.com or at the St. John's Town Center.
Get the lowest prices in Jacksonville guaranteed at Beard's Diamonds.
It's time for some straight talk. You've got real work to do, but everyone's sucking up the free Wi-Fi faster than a Mocha Choco Double Frap on ice. So be your own hotspot. Now with Straight Talk Wireless, get 10 gigs of hotspot data with the Ultimate Unlimited plan. Just $55 a month on America's largest and most dependable networks. You don't have to find a hotspot. You are the hotspot. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Compatible device required. See straighttalk.com.
Trade pros. Whether you specialize in service or new construction, Ferguson knows firsthand how much work goes into a long day on the job, which is why we're committed to offering the products and solutions to get every job done right. With over 1,000 locations, an unmatched selection of specialty products, tools, and supplies, our pro pickup and same or next day delivery, you can trust that doing business with Ferguson will be the easiest part of your hard day's work. Visit Ferguson.com to find a counter location near you.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi, breaking NBA news. The Hawks announcing an MRI on guard Trae Young revealed a bone bruise in his right foot. He's listed as questionable for Game 4 of the East Finals tomorrow against the Bucks. Only one win stands between the Suns and their first appearance in the NBA Finals since 1993. Phoenix looks to get that series-clinching victory against the Clippers in Game 5 of the West Finals tonight. Guard Chris Paul's made a huge difference for the Suns, and his fingerprints are all over this team, notes ESPN's Kendrick Perkins.
A winning culture, winning ways, how to sacrifice, how to put yourself last, how to lose yourself in the team. And that's what we're seeing. We watch this Phoenix Suns team play, and they play a gender-free basketball. They don't care who has to shine. They don't care who's leading the team and scoring that night. They just want to get the W.
Clippers forward Kawhi Leonard with a sprained knee still out. Game 5, 8:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ESPN TV. Receiver Demaryius Thomas announcing he's retiring from the NFL and is doing so with the Broncos, the team he won a Super Bowl with. He played 10 seasons in the NFL.
What? Just 15 seconds to talk about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea? That smooth taste of real brewed iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol? What? We started already? Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for it in the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Think about Daniel Jones and all the pieces that he has around them now. There's no excuse for him other than his own ability. Saquon Barkley is back healthy, it seems. You got a plethora of skill position players. They've addressed the offensive line. They've addressed the defensive side of the ball. So can Daniel Jones lead the Giants to a Super Bowl opportunity on his rookie deal? Yes, he can.
Oh, I've never loved you more, Keyshawn.
Hey.
Give him the damn ball.
Hey, Keyshawn. I understand that you're with the big dogs and you're trying to get that clickbait thing where everyone's talking about it. But Keyshawn, it's not the way to do this, okay? There's better ways to go about things. And saying that Daniel Jones can lead the New York Giants to a Super Bowl, Brent, we saw it last year. We saw him go toe-to-toe with Kyler Murray, and how'd that end out? 10-8 rounds in Kyler Murray's favor. It was a knockout by Game 3. I don't need to see Daniel Jones anymore. I'm all set. I think we know what he brings to the table. Next, please.
Has it been hard to judge Daniel Jones at all without Saquon Barkley?
Sure hasn't. No, because last time I checked, Saquon Barkley's a running back and not a wide receiver.
Yeah, but I don't think Daniel Jones is that.
Don't go over the numbers?
I don't think he's the quarterback like, let's just say, a Josh Allen type where you're going to put it in his hands 40 times, throw it, run it a little bit, roll him out, all that stuff. I don't think he's Kyler Murray where you're going to do a lot of that same thing in terms of style. I think you want to be able to have the balance. And obviously their offense could be built around Saquon Barkley, who's been very unavailable.
So you're saying you're not going to build the offense around Daniel Jones. So it's going to be Saquon Barkley leading them to the Super Bowl, not Daniel Jones.
Well, nowadays, complimentary football.
14 games started last year, 5-9 in terms of the record, 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. I'll say it again in case you didn't hear it in the back, everybody. In case that it's turned down the dial a little bit. We're talking 5-9 record, 2,943 yards, 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
The way I heard that is Keyshawn Johnson would have liked to catch passes from Daniel Jones.
11 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Quarterback rating doesn't matter. That's what that rating is. Doesn't matter. Not that good, let's just say.
Have the Giants really done enough? I mean, I know
here we go.
He just said addressed a lot of things, but they had a lot of holes, man. I mean, are they?
Hey, Brent, how many excuses are you going to come up for Daniel Jones here?
No, this is an excuse. I was just saying
for
the Giants in general. Are they supposed to really take that big of a jump? I mean, Dallas is pretty loaded up.
Yeah, you had Evan Ingram, you had Marvin Jones, you had Sterling Shepard. A pretty respectable receiving core.
Marvin Jones.
I'm not Marvin Jones, sorry. Who's the Golden Tate? I got that completely confused. Sorry, Golden Tate. I don't know where that came from, Marvin
Golden's
Jones.
a little overrated. Just ask Jalen.
Ooh, shots fired.
But they have tried to build that up a little bit more. There's a little more momentum in New York, but they got a long. I still think there's a huge gap between them and Dallas. And obviously, Washington's defense is very good. Their offense is and Philly's gone backward. But
are you ready to concede to Daniel Jones?
No.
Are you ready to say that he wasn't the guy that you thought he was going to be?
No.
That your hero let you down?
Did you see that run last year by Daniel Jones? Better than any Kyler Murray run he had.
Brent, we've been over this. The guy memed himself when he tripped and fell. Literally, imagine being an NFL player tripping and falling, and then you're a meme. Like you're the national meme for like the entire month of football because you tripped. And we're still going to defend this guy. I'm just making sure we're defending this guy still.
I love you, DJ.
Okay.
I still believe in you, DJ.
Okay. And by the way, his nickname?
Super Bowl might be a little aggressive.
Yeah.
Keyshawn, but I like you, Daniel Jones. You're going to have a big year.
And by the way, Pro Football Reference, you got to stop because they have nicknames in there. They call him Danny Dimes. No. It's going to be Danny Nichols or nothing. Not Danny Dimes.
Danny Pennies so far.
Danny Pennies. Danny Dogecoin. Because seriously, and
Danny no crypto.
We aren't a stock show by any means, obviously. But Elon, please do something real quick because my kid's tuition could depend on it if he's not getting a scholarship.
Get out of Dogecoin, doggy coin.
I mean, it's just a little bit. It's just
Why
a little.
Does anybody call it Dogecoin?
I had to get a little off the top. I saved a little bit up because I was curious. He was on Saturday Night Live. It was bound to go to the moon. We're supposed to go to the moon, Brent.
I know.
We're supposed to go to the moon.
I bet. Obviously, the SNL appearance by Elon didn't do much because ever since crypto world's been in a bad place.
We're supposed to go to the moon.
How Tesla's doing.
We're supposed to go to the moon right now. We are below sea level. We're in Jackson. We're below sea level right now.
Today's finally a better day, but
but nevertheless, Daniel Dogecoin. Enough said.
By the way, how about this fall?
Yeah,
we have to give everybody forget about stocks, but we have to go crypto on every player that we talk about.
Oh, I like that. I thought you were meaning for Christmas gifts. We just give everybody I don't know.
No.
Here's just.
Yeah, we should actually.
Here's $20 worth of some coin. Good luck to you.
Here's $1 million tokens of.
I don't.
Brent coin.
Yeah, Brent coin. Well, if we talk about this on the air, MJF has his own.
You said that. No, you said it in a commercial. I remember.
So AEW, first professional wrestler to have his own cryptocurrency, doing pretty well for himself. Or at least he was.
Is it doing well?
Oh, it skyrocketed.
Did you buy in?
I didn't. No,
What is it?
I'm all set. It's called MJF coin.
Oh.
Yeah. Why not? I don't know how that's. I don't get it, but yeah, good for him.
There are a lot of coins out there.
Yeah.
Last segment, just to wrap up thought on Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
I think today, the anniversary of the biting of Holyfield's ear also shows you we've said this before, and so we've talked Tyson before, that he is, he's one of them. He's got to be up there in the most 180 sports characters we've ever witnessed. I mean, now he's almost like this lovable character. You know, he went from that, like everybody was on board with, yes, he's crazy. I think even Mike was on board with, yes, I'm crazy, to now this like guy in commercials again, and kind of you want to go see him and meet him or whatever, listen to him or whatever. I mean, I kind of feel like he's this lovable creature. He has got to be one of the most interesting sports figures, characters that we've ever witnessed.
Yeah,
ever.
It's the ability to reinvent himself, because we've seen this story time and time again. And usually the story ends, whether it's in novels, whether it's in real life, is the character either implodes or he gets chased out with pitchforks and fire and everything. And Mike Tyson, by all means, with his life, he should have been one of those characters. He shouldn't have been embraced. But this dude, in terms of turning a complete 180, turning his life around, and to me, making himself vulnerable, that was the biggest thing that he could have ever done. And me and Nick have talked about this too in the past off air, where when you see a guy that breaks down in tears, crying because, you know, really fighting is all he knows, and he's making himself vulnerable, like, it's almost like, well, dude, if Mike Tyson can break down and cry, well, then I can do that too, you know? So it's almost like relatable, where it's like, dude, the baddest man, maybe of all time, a guy that you grew up who, you know, fought with the baddest of intentions, talked with the baddest of intentions, was literally a monster with all due respect, but the guy was an absolute monster. He was a killing machine. And you see him be human and break down and share, you know, his thoughts and feelings. Like, if he can do that, then who can't do that? And that's why I think people have kind of put their arms around him and really embraced him, because for the first time, you know, in a long time, he showed the human part of himself. And that's maybe even more likable than the boxing part was.
Well, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think probably for not the masses as much. You got to look a little deeper in. But
for the people that matter.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the guy, who would have thought after he bit Holyfield's ear and all the rest of it that he'd be doing commercials some 25 years later?
He'd be doing a Broadway show.
I mean,
he'd have a cartoon on Adult Swim on Cartoon Network. He's got his own cartoon, Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Everything.
Yeah.
So it is pretty wild. And that is still one of the most bizarre things, if not the most bizarre thing we've seen in sports, without question. It's up there. I don't know if it is. I'm sure somebody can come up with something different. But
and that's like, people, the next generations will never understand, because now we're wrapped up in these YouTube boxers and whatever. They have a giant following. They get the eyes. But like, Mike Tyson was all that wrapped into one.
Yeah,
he was the YouTube star before there was even YouTube. But then you mix that with his boxing ability as well. Like, you will never see a Mike Tyson again. There's no way. Like, I don't think society would allow it, first of all. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, that is true.
Yeah, with social media, there's no way people would allow that. But like, that guy, he was one of one. You know, he's just one of one.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
He is an NFT.
He's an NFT. I mean, how much do you think the Mike Tyson biting Holyfield NFT would be worth?
Oh my gosh.
And that call. Whew. Probably a lot.
Yeah, I would say probably a lot. One last thing. You just brought up social media. Can you imagine if social media was a thing in 1997 and that event?
It'd break.
I mean, it would have been...
It'd break. It'd break social media.
I almost wonder sometimes, though, I know we say this, it would have been like even bigger and bigger. I'm not sure. Sometimes, like, the less is more of that. But, you know what I mean?
Imagine just the memes. Like, I mean, no, it definitely... It would have been a trending topic from the likes that we probably would ever see in this world, honestly. Biting another dude's ear out, the pictures that can come from it, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think, you talk about breaking the internet.
Yeah.
Like, that would have...
That would have broke the internet.
That would have done it. But I do think there is a little value and curiosity in the fact that it didn't exist.
Sure.
In a lot of events, not just that event, but in a lot of different events.
You're right.
That we can still say, hey, remember where I was? Oh, let's go check where I was.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Because now you can, you're
sure.
not going to have to remember.
Yeah.
All right, you can go back and check.
Yeah.
Your Facebook memories or your Twitter or your whatever. South Beach Gary on the line. Let's get to him quick. I think he had a question for Austin. What's up, South Beach Gary?
Oh.
Yeah, two things. First, please, Austin, why can't Cody Rhodes come up with his own nickname instead of stealing his father's nickname of the American Dream? I mean, come on. His father was the American Dream.
Well, because that whole thing stemmed from fighting Anthony Ogogo, who was from England. So he wanted to take his dad's moniker because it was USA versus England.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't take the nickname of a legend. That's weak. Another thing, Austin, what are your thoughts about joint practices in the NFL?
Oh, I love them. I mean, I should paraphrase this. If you're a coach, you love them. If you're a player, you absolutely can't stand them because training camp's hard enough, and now you got to go against another opponent who isn't wearing the same color jersey as you. That requires a lot more energy and just personal strength. So I'm all for it and getting better. It gives you a great chance to see where you are as a team, and especially the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm all for them getting a joint practice.
Thanks, South Beach Gary. Appreciate it. Does that mean South Beach Gary isn't a big fan of Ken Griffey Jr.?
No, I guess
don't take your dad's name.
So
I know he's referring to nicknames.
Yeah. Well, because Cody referred to himself as the American Nightmare.
Yeah,
and his dad was the American Dream. Well, he wrestled Anthony Ogogo, who was British, and he took the moniker.
This weekend?
No, that was the last pay-per-view. That was at Double or Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like if you're gonna steal something, it's cool to steal it from your dad because that's your dad.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than it was like he stole the Rock's nickname.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a little bit. It's kind of like passed down. It's okay. That's kind of why my Ken Griffey Jr. reference.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's more paying homage to his father than stealing the name, I think.
Of course.
Well, it's
keeping it alive, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of it actually like in sports, like where else that could have come into play. And I guess in it would have been a little bit weird to see like Dale Earnhardt Jr. take the Intimidator.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But did he ever run the Intimidator car, the theme with the all black?
Yeah, I think he did. I think on a couple of occasions, I believe Stewart would know better, but I thought there were a couple of occasions where he did run that.
Yeah, so he wasn't. I think it's probably the same thing because Cody, was it only for that pay-per-view?
So yeah, that revolved on the pay-per-view. I'm not sure if he's still doing it, but the American Dream came in fruition because he was wrestling a guy from England.
Yeah, so we'll see if it sticks like that.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to stick.
Your reference of just doing it the one.
Yeah, it'd be like a one-off to keep.
Yeah, that'd be actually a very comparable thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know it wasn't Junior, but they've obviously had the 3-car out there now, and Richard Childress Racing and all that. So, but that's an interesting conversation,
quick,
of course.
And this is funny. So for that pay-per-view, okay, Double or Nothing, Anthony Ogogo, former Olympic boxer, became a wrestler, okay? He's from England. He's got the accent. He's got the style and everything. Well, he cut like a live promo about like how great England is and how much the U.S. sucks. So he started going into like universal health care and our school system. But like the problem is like he's a heel, right? He's the bad guy. Obviously, Cody Rhodes carrying on Dusty Rhodes' name. He's the good guy. Well, but like the way Anthony Ogogo was talking, it's like, well, that's a valid point. It's like, yeah, you know what? Our school system, that you mentioned it, we could do better.
Yeah.
It's like
he'll be running for president.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like he's, I mean, we're supposed to be USA, but we're like, Anthony Ogogo making a couple points that, you could take home with you.
South Beach Gary asked you about joint practices. It brings you an interesting thought with 3 preseason games, obviously one less. Will we get more joint practices around the NFL to make it a little bit more physical because the time of kind of recovery is there?
Yeah.
You only have 3. There's 2 weeks now, essentially, between the last preseason game and the start of the regular season.
Yeah.
I think there's heavy conversations for the Jaguars, by the way, to have a joint practice with one of their opponents, probably most likely like New Orleans.
Oh,
but
don't do that, Brent.
I don't know exactly if they're going to do it or whatever, but there are conversations. So I wonder if a lot of teams, everybody always, listen, me saying it, there's like conversations. Every team has the conversation about joint practices. Every team. It's hard to find a coach that doesn't like the idea of a joint practice.
Of course.
It's a matter of logistically it fits their schedule.
Intensity is increased. Everything's increased to more of a live setting. I'll be honest with you. I get the New Orleans thing. That would be a good one, but I am frothing at the mouth. I am salivating at the mouth because I want to see the Cleveland Browns in Jacksonville for joint practices. I think in terms of intensity, I think the Browns do a lot of things that the Jaguars need to address, like running the football, being physical in the trenches, and decent quarterback play as well, stopping that. And obviously a pretty solid defense in Cleveland to boot. I just think that they offer a lot of things that you can get a good litmus test of what the Jaguars can bring to the table through those practices.
Yeah, and you said, I know we had this conversation probably feels like a couple months ago now. Maybe when the schedule even came out.
It's probably last week, but no, I hate it. No, I'm kidding.
I think it was when the schedule came out.
It's just the dog days of summer. Yeah.
But I think that makes some sense. I think you can make sense out of any of them.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
I do.
I just think some teams are better suited Like I think the Browns would be better suited than the Cowboys.
Yeah, but and really again, to go back to our conversation, we thought Baltimore would be a really good look, and they thought it would be a good look, and then there were some internally that were like, we got not nearly as much as we thought we'd get out of this because we wanted to see the running quarterback and show some of those looks, and they showed nothing. But let me ask you not even on the practice field.
How was the intensity of those Baltimore practices?
I think the intensity was
because I feel like Harbaugh had
Baltimore
to bring
practices one way. In fact, by that time, Baltimore would have been 2018.
Yeah.
2018. No, 2019. 2020 they had nothing. So 2019.
Sorry, yeah.
So I think that would have been 2019. Well, go back all the way to 2017 for the Jags, obviously a very hard camp.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they started to loosen up a little bit. In year 3, Marrone was kind of like, I know we were joking about the Club Med stuff compared to 2017. He was pulling it back for a team that he was trying to get the most out of and trying to get feedback from them, and it was at that stage. Mm-hmm. And so really the Jags were not going as hard as they did in 2017. Again, it's all relative, but and Baltimore was known to be kind of amped up a little bit more. And so I think even from I know the players didn't love the idea of, oh boy, we're gonna have to turn this up a notch.
Sure.
To your point,
and
right?
Yeah, it's hard.
But again, I'll coming out of that Baltimore, we went. Let's see, Minnesota, we went there. We've gone to New England, Baltimore.
You've had Tampa here, right?
Tampa here, Atlanta, I think here and there.
Atlanta was always back and forth with us when I played.
So there's value in them. Team C, and it breaks up the monotony of camp. It does do that. Most players, at least my experience in talking to players about it, is the young players are like, yeah, gung-ho about it, right? Breaks up the monotony. It's good. The older players, which I was surprised by this, but the older players say, I don't like them.
Yeah.
And the reason they don't like them is because they're going against a kid that's like, or a young man that's 8 years their youth, trying to make the team, will do anything, including whatever it takes from a dirty point of view. And that's how the fights start.
Yeah.
Because the old guy's like, listen, man, I'm just trying to get my work in.
No,
Stop
for sure.
it. Get away.
Well,
it was like the little 5-year-old kid that won't leave you alone, you know?
Listen, no, for sure. Because everyone's got a point to make. No, for sure.
Yeah.
I was that guy against Atlanta. I mean, I was, I'll never, I might have told this story before, but I think it was my second year. I think Atlanta was here in Jacksonville.
Okay.
And this is when Matt Ryan, I told this story before, Matt Ryan scored a touchdown in red zone, and he was
swearing at you.
Yeah, and I didn't appreciate that because I'm like, you're Matt Ryan, relax. Okay.
You played at Boston College.
Come on, relax now. All right. But they had I think it's like a second or third string tight end. I forgot where he was even from. Might have been from Boise State. But we had the same agent. So we're going against each other, right? So this was team inside run period. So literally it was me, offensive tackle, and then the tight end. And dude, obviously my, hyperactive self, let's just call it in the nicest way as possible, I had to make a statement because I got Joe Cullen. I don't gotta say it, but I had Joe Cullen. Okay, so literally took the tight end. I kid you not, drove him back about like 8 yards and then wouldn't let go because like when you drive him back to like his own teammates and you let go. No, drove him past his own teammates and kept on going. And then like my agent was like, "Hey, did you really have to do?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, I had to do that." And I felt bad about it after the fact, but in the moment, I'm sorry that I did.
Did that spark a little frustration?
From him?
From them.
I didn't deal with it. No, not really. I didn't really gauge it.
It didn't turn into a fight.
No, it didn't turn into a fight, anything like that. Yeah.
Well, see, the other part, as we had to break, the other part is they used to be fights.
Oh, of course.
Now they've been so discouraged.
Yeah.
That like that's all we in the media or the fans were like, okay, I remember like the Giants Jets doing camp together, like, oh, when's the fight gonna happen?
Yeah.
Is this the day? Is this the period?
Yeah.
Is this the session?
It's hot and
then there was two-a-days.
Yeah.
So now the lack of two-a-days, you're really trying to get your work in, and most coaches now go into those things and be like, if you get in a fight, I'm going to run your you-know-what.
So,
right? I mean, they don't want it to. They just don't want that.
I'm going to clue in on one thing. I'm not going to say what it was, but I'm cluing in on one thing. This is a little behind the curtain here. I'm peeking right now. So during practice, during two-a-days, and this still goes on today, everyone's got their own hand signs. Where if you're feeling tired or you're injured or you're winded, you throw up this sign to your your teammate ahead of an offensive line. Throw up the sign and they go easy on you for that play. Like you make it look like you're going hard, but you go easy. Okay. Now, when you go against opponents like a different team, you can throw up the sign, and sometimes they reciprocate, and they say, okay, gotcha. And sometimes you throw it up, and they're like, what is that?
What are you
exactly.
talking about?
And
Did you just flip me off?
Yeah, or sometimes, but here's the worst part. Sometimes you flip the sign, they go, I gotcha, and then they don't have you, and they screw you over. That's happened a couple times, and that's how fights start. Not even lying.
That's great, man. That's some good inside stuff.
You gotta throw the sign. I can say what the sign is,
yeah,
but
it's all right. But 2.5 years it took to get that out of you.
Yeah, I got
That's
you.
pretty good.
Yep.
I like it. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Another warm day today with temperatures into the mid to upper 80s with partly sunny skies, but tropical moisture will stream in, sparking scattered showers and storms where we will be tracking localized heavy rainfall and gusty winds. A few of those showers and storms can linger into tonight with temperatures in the low 70s, but we bounce back into the upper 80s both Tuesday and Wednesday with partly sunny skies and scattered showers and storms. I'm Action News Jax meteorologist Alyssa Pedgick.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where for a limited time, get 0% financing for 5 years, only at Beards Diamonds.
A car wash with spacious lounges and Wi-Fi, Starbucks coffee as well. Prime Car Wash has all of that, while your car or truck gets cleaned. For moms and dads, there are even child-friendly lounges. Full-service interior and exterior wash while you wait. Prime Car Wash is convenient for you. It was for me. I went to the Beach Boulevard location, and there's one on San Jose as well. Give it a try. You can even get a membership. Let Prime Car Wash take care of your vehicle while you take care of your family, or even do a little work. Prime Car Wash, clean inside, clean outside.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
It is the home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18 and Make Club at County Road 210. It's family-owned and operated. Southampton is a fun course to play, and the Golf Club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. With its elite practice facilities and player-friendly golf course design, it'll be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. For information on the membership programs, call the Golf Club at Southampton, 904-287-PLAY. Again, it's 904-287-PLAY.
After a long day, having my dogs greet me at the door with their silly smiles and wagging tails makes me happy. I want to keep that joy with me for years to come. That's why I trust Forever Vets Animal Hospital to keep my pets healthy. Forever Vets was voted 2019's best vet in Jacksonville Magazine's Readers Poll, and it's easy to see why. The affordable wellness plans are tailored to meet all of your pet's changing needs as they grow. Open 7 days a week, Forever Vets friendly staff is available to treat you and your pet with care. They combine extended hours with online booking to allow you to give your pet quality care while accommodating your schedule. Go online to forevervets.com to find which of their 9 locations is nearest you. And don't forget their newest location in Bartram Market. Forever Vets Animal Hospital, keeping your pets happy and healthy forever.
If you want new car selection, you've got it. That's because our friends at Arlington Toyota have over 700 new Toyotas for you to choose from. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and unlimited miles, and Arlington's worry-free 30-day exchange policy with your purchase. Arlington will even give you top dollar for your trade. Why buy used when you can be driving home in a new Toyota from Arlington Toyota today? Shop safely in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/June for full details.
Well, the Ding Dong Doorbell Camera Company is at it again. This time they're sharing your internet with your neighbors, and there's no way to know which neighbors. And some internet providers could even snag your account because it most likely goes against your internet agreement. Allowing strangers to connect to your internet is inherently risky. This sharing could also pose a risk that even third parties could get access to all of your data. That's why smart shoppers only use SafeTouch Security. A Safe Touch system assures you complete peace of mind that you have the best security available, and even your cameras are protected by Safe Touch systems. With the Safe Touch system, you not only get the fastest possible emergency response, you also have complete control of your system, cameras, and internet. Systems start as low as $29.95. Call for a free demo and consultation today. State license number EF0000233.
This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
And you start to realize that the reason New Orleans Saints hadn't made a Super Bowl in the last few years is Drew Brees. Drew Brees wasn't the same guy late in season.
Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio and watch exclusively on ESPN Plus.
No, not surreal. I think I told him that hey, you might get booed here a little bit. So, but no, it's part of the game now, and they're just doing their job. They're doing what they're asked to do, and so just kind of roll with it and keep going.
That is Clayton Kershaw. What's being discussed during these belt and hack checks? Of course, there was an ejection.
Yeah.
I think it's Santiago, I think the pitcher's name. And he said all he used was the rosin bag. That's what he said.
Okay.
So
well, now is he lying?
What?
Or
did they go test the glove or whatever they took? I mean, is it leftover residue from like months ago or what? Who knows?
Yeah, it's baseball. Just do whatever, That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah, just do whatever.
Do whatever. Yeah, just go out there. You look like you got some illegal substance. You're out.
We have
real quick. I had a question about illegal substances. So
yes, I take them every day.
Yeah, for sure. I can tell. I can see the results, Brent. We just cut this dude an endorsement. So you can use sweat.
Yes,
because it's obviously a part of your body.
Yep.
Can you use spit?
I don't think you can, based on.
Okay.
Back in the day, I mean, I don't know if that's a good question. Because obviously Gaylord
part
Perry
of your, yeah. Well, because then I was going to get into, can you use like chew spit? Like, could you like chew on something and if it like mixes with your spit? I'm just trying to break the rules here.
I want to. I'll have to double check me, or somebody else can double check me, but I'm pretty sure that I don't think you can put like your hand in your mouth while you're on the rubber.
Okay.
I don't think you can as a pitcher. You have to be like off the rubber to do anything of that sort.
Okay.
So not that answers your question fully, but
now quarterbacks can.
Now listen, there are some people. I heard a story recently from a former big leaguer who said, "My gosh, who was he talking about? I forget who he was talking about. Somebody who was good. I don't know if it was like Maddox or somebody, but so." Disregard that. I'm not trying to.
It's Greg Maddux, everybody. Greg Maddux.
No inflammatory remark, but
cheating.
Said he put like Vaseline or something under his lip. So when he would,
yeah,
put off the mound and it looks like he's just getting moisture. He's actually digging deep in for that Vaseline or whatever else. That was a story. Now I don't know if that's ever even been written about or talked about, or he's even ever said he was or did.
Yeah,
but
yeah. No, I'm sure the taste.
And again,
was
I don't
off
even
the
know
charts.
which one. I know that's the thing.
Dude,
like, would you go to that length to put like
set.
Vaseline? That much Vaseline, by the way. I mean, maybe I would put a little Vaseline.
How can you talk?
Like,
you don't say anything. You just go. Just put the two. We got 2 outs. Put the fingers up. 2 outs. I'm not saying anything.
Again, so I don't know how true that is, but that was a story I was told, or maybe that was just a belief amongst people that. And this, I thought he was talking about Maddox at the time, but it might have been somebody else.
Careful now. Careful with the accusations.
Well, but I do. You remember Maddox? So Maddox was. He always did that in terms of putting his hand in his mouth, and I just don't even know how much the moisture helps. Again, those guys know that's their forte. You know, I've played baseball for a long time. I threw the baseball. I didn't need to go, but I mean, I wasn't a pitcher either.
True.
So I'm not trying to control all those things. The seams are different. They can feel every ball if it's different. And I can see that. If you're a basketball player and I gave you a different basketball, in a game, you could probably tell the difference, even if it's regulation size, but it has a different feel, different grip.
No, for sure.
So baseball players, for that to happen, yeah. I mean, a guy who plays golf, he can tell where the weight is on a golf club like instantaneously.
I thought you were going to say that the golf ball, Mike, there's no way. You think there's a difference with golf balls?
Oh, there's a huge difference between golf balls. Because
some
funny,
are
Ty
like,
and I were just talking about this
Some
today.
are like $20 a sleeve, I feel like, and some are not.
No, but there's a huge difference.
Titleist,
No,
take it down a little bit.
I can actually tell the difference, and I'm an amateur player, and not a very good player.
As in how far they can go? What do you mean you can tell the difference?
I can tell the golf ball. I can tell mostly around the green in terms of chipping and putting and how it comes off the putter.
Really?
There's a softness to the golf ball that, like if you play with a top flight,
sure,
like that thing is like going out and hitting a rock. Okay.
Which is good. Or no, it's not good. Oh, Brent.
Well, it's
what if they want to sponsor the show?
My point, they don't. My point is, my point is, if you chip with a top flight, you're not getting that thing to stop at all.
Okay.
Right. And when you hit it with a putter, it's going to be like clank. Like that's what it's going to sound like.
Okay.
You get a Titleist, like a Pro V1, like a top flight, or a nice Callaway, or a Bridgestone, or something like that. They make a
Schlesinger.
Or the trick, by the way, is go to Costco and buy the Kirkland balls because they are really good and they're cheap.
Okay, hang on now.
Seriously. That's the trick I can give you.
I feel like you're being really mean to top. Okay, I feel like you're being really mean to Top Flight, though, and you're saying Kirkland brand over Top Flights.
Oh, without question.
Oh, wow.
And for like 24 of them for $24.
Okay.
So $1 a ball rather than like $4 a ball.
Okay.
Like, I am not cheap at all. I would not consider myself a cheap person.
Okay.
Say this story. I am cheap as hell when it comes to golf balls.
Because you lose so many?
Yeah, in part. But I really don't want, I hate buying golf balls.
Okay.
Like I tell everybody in the family, I'm like, hey, if you go get me a dozen golf balls, so I don't care. Well, I do want to play a halfway decent golf ball now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've become a little snobby in that sense where I don't want the one that's going to sound like a rock.
It's kind of like your coffee you were talking about right now.
A little bit.
You got to have your coffee the certain way. Okay. Have to have a golf ball
But
the
I
certain
also
way.
don't need the Pro V1 is my point.
Well,
like I don't need the top one.
You probably can't get like the most out of the Pro V1, right? It's almost like, you're
I
just
get
an
about a
everyday
hole
driver, and you're like, well, it's like you're driving like a tuned up sports car. Like, yeah, you can go fast, but can you really get the maximum result of that sports car? Nick has a Mustang, so he knows what I'm talking about.
That's
true. I'm sure you push it to the limit.
But anyway, that's the secret for golf fans. If you need to go, I'll tell you this is how much I like the Kirkland ball. I've been to 2 different Costco's in the last month at 2 different occasions, and they're out of them. They don't have them. I don't know if that's a COVID thing where they're having trouble making them or whatever, but it's a good golf ball.
The Kirkland balls.
Yeah.
Huh?
And
okay.
it's really like the secret in the golf world. Like that's a good
from the not the professional golf.
Those guys.
I mean, come on.
Of course they get free golf balls all the time.
True.
True.
Okay.
But there is a difference, is my point.
Okay.
And I don't know where the cutoff is. Like I don't know. I mean, like I shoot like in the mid 80s. I can tell a difference.
Okay.
Like I don't know where that cutoff is of where you can tell a difference. And so it's the same point with like a professional golfer can get their shot within 2 yards. Like I'm like, give me within 10 yards and I'm fine, right?
Okay.
Tell me I'm 150 yards away. That's fine. The professional golfer wants to know 148 or 152.
Okay. So to wrap it all up, let's say that who's the best golfer in the world right now?
Well, let's go John Rahm after his win.
Okay. Let's say I give John Rahm a sleeve of the worst top flight balls you've ever seen.
Yes.
These things have been wore out for a while. How is that going to affect John Rahm? How would the score affect it, the overall score? Are we talking, would it add 10 strokes? Would it add 5 strokes? How bad do you think he would do with those balls?
That's a really good question.
Well, those are the only kind of questions I ask on ESPN 690.
It depends on the course more than anything, right? Because he'll adjust his game to the ball.
I would say that ball will cost him 5 shots.
Okay.
It might be a little high. I don't know. But I think it will.
Yeah.
I think it's more around the green.
Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah, like the ability to spin that ball.
Yeah.
The ability to chip with the ball and get it to stop when they want to.
Yeah.
You know those shots where they skip it and boom, it stops on a dime.
Yeah.
They might be able to do it better than the amateur guy, but they can't do it with that ball.
Okay. I like it.
I would say at least 5 shots. I would bet the over on the 5 shots.
That'd be a good marketing tool for even Kirkland if they want to get in the pro golf scene. Do a double blind study.
That's true.
Hey, we took a Kirkland ball and put Titleist V1, but it's actually a Kirkland ball. Let's see how they do with it. Whoa, what do you know? He broke a course record.
Now,
boom,
again,
Kirkland balls.
I am far from technical savvy guy on the golf equipment. I don't care about. I couldn't tell you the difference between drivers. I'm not a club guy. I'm big on it's the guy swinging it.
Sure.
Now, if I was a pro, I could see the difference. But again, when you're playing my level of golf, I just don't put a lot into it. The only thing I have now convinced myself of is that you need to, if you go get a new set of clubs, you need to get tested, and measured.
Okay.
Because of your length and all that stuff does matter. And I'm a big believer in that.
Okay.
That's the only thing. But you could give me 5 different clubs, and I couldn't tell you the difference probably between them. Is that a TaylorMade? Is that a Callaway? Is that a Titleist? Is that whatever? Just give me the damn club, and I'll swing it.
See, that's so wild that you the clubs you don't really notice, but the balls you do. That's insane to me.
I do notice more.
There's so much more money in the clubs, obviously.
I would rather play with any club you give me, but give me the better ball.
That's insane, Brent.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure there's probably a cutoff there, too. But most clubs that get made now are pretty good.
I got a Callaway Big Bertha from 1999 with your name on it if you want to try that out.
That's a really good – well, that's the other thing, right? Yeah. You can't go too far back. But I think there is this, and I don't know if I'm right on this, but I would say that there is a bigger gap between bad golf ball and good golf ball that's made in the last 5 years than there is between bad golf club and good golf club made in the last 5 years.
Interesting.
I don't know if I'm right on that.
Yeah. It's a fun conversation, though.
Yeah.
This is the most I've ever talked about golf, and I'm not mad.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot here.
And somehow we got from sticky substance to that.
Well, yeah, it's not a bad road we took.
I'll tell you, it's funny you brought this up today because I was just telling Ty, and Ty was asking, because I actually he asked me to get some golf balls, and so I was going to get the Kirkland ones, and they didn't have them, and so I had to get these other Callaways, but they were still pretty good price. It was $30 for 24 golf balls, which is a good price. And again, I hate buying golf balls, just to remind you.
Yes.
But he's like, well, what's even the difference? He asked the same thing. I was like, Ty, I don't know. The big difference is there's a 3-piece golf ball. The Pro V1s, the good golf balls, like a 3-piece golf ball. That's what. So I think there's a core to it, another piece, and another piece. And I think that creates the distance and the soft nature feel where it can spin as well. I think, okay? Somebody's out there like, Brent, you have and no clue what you're talking about. You're all wrong. Well, that's my understanding of it.
Yeah.
I will say this, and I told them this. I worked in Providence, and obviously I grew up in that area. Well, in Acushnet, Mass., which is probably about a half hour from Providence, 35 minutes, that is where I think it still is, but it was, the Titleist headquarters. And so when I was working in Providence, in 2001, 2002, that was when the Pro V1 was coming out. Of course, this is right around Tiger Mania.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we went and did a story, this 2-part story. They let us into Titleist, and they wouldn't share everything. It was like going to Nike, where they wouldn't allow you into, which I've been to Nike before too, and they won't allow you in certain areas. Because that's where a lot of the research and development and all that stuff's
generation stuff's coming out. Yeah.
Well, Titleist was the same way, but we did a story with this engineer, and you could see it being manufactured and some of the stuff that we shot. It was fascinating, man. I mean, just seeing the golf ball, and that thing exploded on the scenes, the Pro V1.
It's also wild.
It still's a big deal 20 years later.
It's also wild because Tiger was sponsored by Nike, but he was using Titleist golf balls.
Yeah.
I wonder how that went over.
Well, there are a lot of those things through the years
I
with Tiger that he basically said, yeah, I want to do this. I'm doing it. He tried other golf. He tried the Nike ball, I think, for a while, and was like, I don't like it.
Not happening.
I think that's part of the reason Nike got out of the golf business. Not the attire, but the golf club making business they got out of. I think probably in part because Tiger didn't like it.
Sure.
Somewhere along the way, whether it was the golf balls, the driver, the this, the that. But if Tiger's not going to use it, how are you going to sell them?
Such a stressful job trying to make something that Tiger Woods likes.
I bet
That's
it was.
Your only job.
There's probably some great backstories on that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I will tell you, if you like golf, the golf facility in Acushnet, Mass., where they made the Pro V1s, where they make a lot of the golf balls, it was fascinating to see.
Cool.
I mean, there was this engineer that changed the game of golf balls. And I got to interview him.
That's awesome,
and the best thing, I'm 22, right? At the time, and I love golf. And they liked the story, I guess, and they did.
Cool.
A couple weeks later, this is probably payola or something, by the way.
Yeah.
But they end up sending me, they sent me this, a cigar comes in a nice case, right?
Yeah, man.
They sent me this dozen golf balls, right? Yeah. And it had the logo of the station on it and stuff. I was like, it was in the nicest case ever.
You gotta,
I shared them. I donated them to charity.
Allegedly, they did this. Allegedly.
Yeah.
It's
20 years later. Statute of limitations are way over.
How old are you? So you're 20, 21?
I was like, this is the
Dude,
greatest.
I see you doing that interview though, like I did with Paul Rodriguez. You guys are just sitting outside the factory steps, and you're just like, so golf balls. What's up with these things? What do you guys got going on here? What's going on? Tell me. Fill me in. Golf balls. Wild.
I should call the station in Providence and see if I can
I
find
want to get that
story.
video. Oh, we need that video. Were you sitting on the steps?
No.
Oh, that'd been cool.
I don't remember where it was.
Just a laid back conversation about golf ball
once
technology.
a week we pull up like a story that I did like in 2002.
Yeah, man.
It'd be so bad.
I like it. Throwback, and then we can kind of critique you on it a little bit.
Maybe my first ever resume tape to get into the business coming out of college. I'm
Yes,
sure that
please.
was good.
Yes,
I'm sure
please.
the format doesn't even work anymore.
VHS, you mean? Yeah, probably not.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
The Max Kellerman Show.
The one year was like 300 strikeouts to 30-something walks. It was crazy. But I can't remember a stretch like this. And I just wanted to bring it up because baseball's not a national sport anymore. It's a local sport. Doesn't rate nationally. And so the only time you hear about baseball is when there's a scandal or maybe during the World Series. But what Jacob deGrom is doing right now is worth watching.
The Max Kellerman Show. Weekdays at 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Watch exclusively on ESPN+.
You're invited to shop at the White Harvest Farms and Farmers Market every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a market of fresh and affordable farm-to-table produce that comes from a 10.5-acre urban located at 4850 Moncrief Road. There's volunteering, classes, and farming demonstrations. Also, if you're interested in becoming a vendor or volunteer, call 904-354-4162 or visit the White Harvest Farms Eventbrite page. White Harvest Farms wants to be your favorite produce market. This initiative benefits the Clara White Mission.
Men, do you feel embarrassed in the bedroom because of ED or PE? Would you like to be the man you used to be? Prime Men's Medical Center has the solution. 98% of their patients experience a positive result from the treatment in just 10 minutes after just one office visit. Listen to Dr. Brown, a specialist in men's health.
Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications for ED or PE designed just for you. There's no pain or surgery. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues, not a problem. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, not a problem. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Contact Prime Men's Medical Center to schedule a private consultation. 904-664-8217. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Trucks, and more trucks, plus over 300 Primo pre-owned, all makes and all models. Find it all at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today. Arlington Toyota has some of the biggest pre-owned truck selection I've seen. I'm talking Tundras, Tacomas, imports, domestics. You'll find it all at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Even better, you have 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. And with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, almost everyone is approved. Plus, Arlington will give you top dollar for your trade. Shop safely in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Hi, I'm Kevin Hurley, owner of Better Home Improvement. We've been making North Florida beautiful for over 30 years. When it comes to patio covers, screen rooms, and sunrooms, we got you covered. Check out all our 5-star reviews, our lifetime warranty, and our easy financing. You can even see our online showroom with pricing at bhimprovement.com. Schedule a free estimate now online at bhimprovement.com. Let me fix your house. You'll be glad you did.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? Being a member of the Air Force Reserve. It's doing a job that makes a difference, serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve. To find out about local job opportunities with the Air Force Reserve at MacDill Air Force Base or Eglin Air Force Base, call 800-257-1212 or go to afreserve.com. This message is sponsored by the Air Force Reserve, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
Thunderstorms may be common this time of year, but the shower of savings you can get this month at Beard's Diamonds is certainly special.
0% financing store-wide is back, yes.
Get 0 interest financing for 5 years on anything and everything.
But hurry, this incredible free financing won't last long.
How about a $6,000 designer setting?
You pay just $100 a month.
Or a $2,500 pair of diamond studs.
You pay less than $42 a month.
Then spread your payments out over 60 months and get her that piece of jewelry that she has been dreaming of.
How about a GIA certified diamond with a Tacori or Veragio setting for $12,000?
You pay just $200 a month.
People drive from all over to Beard's Diamonds for the best prices, best selection.
And now 0% financing store-wide.
Pick out that one-of-a-kind piece, then divide your total by 60. And that's what you'll pay a month.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
Get the lowest prices in Jacksonville guaranteed at Beard's Diamonds.
Wendy's only makes one kind of breakfast, your new favorite one. How do we do it? With fresh cracked eggs, oven-baked bacon, and flaky croissants. You know, the things your old breakfast wasn't doing. So toss that old news and its soggy eggs somewhere useful. And get to Wendy's, where the sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, bacon, egg, and Swiss croissant, and honey butter chicken biscuit are just 2 for $4. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $4.
Limited time only. Single item at regular price. Price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to...
I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
CMG Local Solutions. Visit cmglocalsolutions.com today.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
And so now, and one game away. What's that? That's Charles' phone. Come on, man.
I'm like, what? I don't know how to turn my phone off, man.
He's trying to. He's hitting the wrong buttons.
I am hitting the wrong button. I'm sorry, y'all.
What the heck is going on? Oh, you can take his phone, Ernie.
But Kenny,
take his phone, Ernie.
But Kenny, then he tried to look down here like it was me and you.
They ain't taking your phone, man. Look at you.
He tried to look down here like it was me and you, Kenny. I'm sorry, y'all.
All right, no problem.
Best halftime show in the business, man.
I mean, that's part of it. That's why, right? It was like it's like they're all on the couch.
So
it's Charles Barkley's phone going off, by the way. Jax Boz, I hope you get all over Charles. Not just me.
After Game 3 of the Clippers Suns, they have like a 30-minute it was like a documentary style about the evolution of that show.
The show.
Oh yeah, and like dude, behind the scenes stuff of how many, because you just think it's just 4 guys.
I feel like I've seen a part of that before.
But there's a lot of people that make that thing work. I mean, there's like one guy dedicated just to making up like the memes and like the real quick like Photoshop things. Like there's one guy whose job is just that. Like he's like so, and I forgot like where they hired him from. But basically, they're like, hey, we need a guy to come in and, like, off the top of his head, come up with these great GIFs or these great memes. So they hired this dude, and that's his only job. And he's got, like, this iPad tablet where he's got, like, all these pictures saved up. And then if Chuck or if Shaq says something, he's like, all right, I'm going to go to this thing. And then I add their head to it. I Photoshop their head into it, and then we're good to go. So it's like, boom. It's like seconds of just, relay time. And then it's up there.
Yeah, well, and that
so
they do it quick.
Crazy, yeah.
I mean, of course, we always say this in the local business of whatever we're doing in this industry. It's like if you could have more people, how good could you make it, right? I mean, at that level, they have a lot of people at the network level. But I think even starting to, like say an ESPN or a Sports Center or whatever, I bet they have far less people working on that show that did 15 years ago, 20 years ago. I mean, like, without question. One, because of technology, but two, because of resources and dollars and the just the economics of it,
It's just so fascinating because there are, I mean, I forgot how many people actually are on staff, but it's probably like 10, 15. I mean, there's a bunch of people. Like,
there's
seriously,
a ton.
yeah. But like they always made it a point of saying, they said this a couple times, like they still let them be themselves. Like they have to understand that. Like no matter how many people you have working for that, for the halftime show, for the NBA tip-off show, you have to let Charles Barkley and Shaq just do their own thing sometimes and like not get in the way and not try to micromanage it, because the beauty of that show is just the 4 guys up there and letting them feed off each other. And they said sometimes we would try to add way too much stuff and it wouldn't work. So you have to let them be themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I think they, they have figured it out.
Of course.
But I bet the behind the scenes, and I know they shared some of them on that. I think I saw bits and pieces where, you had to really reel people in, or they're really fighting behind the scenes, or is this going to work? I mean, I think the tell-all could be pretty good.
Yeah.
on that. But it's also what makes it great. I mean, it really is. Very few things. There are so many things in sports today that, from the greatest quarterback, which is Tom Brady, that's undebatable, to all these different ways of getting our information. I think it is pretty cool, that show. That's not even on network TV. That's not on ESPN. That's not even on Fox, which are two of the, those would be the prime sports networks that are big players and big factors. Yeah. I kind of love the fact that it sits on TNT.
No, it's just,
that's where I think is interesting. And we had this conversation. You said what TBS was Conan.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it's interesting to me because, my world, I don't think of those places, right? I don't think of TNT or TBS unless I want to go watch another Law and Order episode.
But do you think, for sure,
Chicago PD,
Chicago anything, Chicago Med, Chicago PD,
Chicago Fields,
Chicago Fire Department? Yeah. Do you think though that it was almost a blessing to be on TNT because maybe they're not as cookie cutter as an ESPN
absolutely.
Or somebody would be? Because now everyone's trying to duplicate what they bring to that show. And no one can do it because no one's like Charles Barkley. No one is like Shaq. And no one even, it's all four of them. It's not just two of them. I mean, Kenny's like the ultimate instigator. Like, if you ever watch Kenny the Jet do his thing, he's always instigating Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Like, Charles Barkley will say something, and then Kenny's like, wait, what did you say again? Or what did you say again, Charles? Like, what was that? And then, he instigates, and then Ernie just tries to reel it all together. It's the perfect inner workings of four guys that you'd see in a bar going back and forth. And it's chef's kiss. It's perfect.
It's really
and
good.
It's hard to duplicate.
And here's the thing. Here's what makes it good. That it's rough around the edges sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, they're great players. They're former great players as well.
Well, that helps.
Yeah.
Right.
They have the expertise.
Yeah,
too.
they have an expertise. But I think people like rough around the edges.
Sure.
A little bit. I think there's a raw nature to it that they like, that it doesn't look scripted. I think people are smart enough to know what it's scripted. Take CBS, who does a great job at sports, and I'm not going to rip them the CBS by any means. I think there's something that's beautiful about CBS.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why they wear sport coats with the old CBS logo on them, too. Because they are polished. There's something.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not just around the Masters either, by the way. It's when they're doing football games. It's when they're doing anything. There's a polished nature to it. Mm-hmm. There's nothing rough around the edges about CBS. Maybe the closest thing they came to was like David Faraday in golf, who was very raw and authentic.
But don't you get Tony Romo's a little bit like that?
Yeah, he is in a polished way. I mean, come on, he still plays golf all the time, and he looks fine in a sport coat.
Sure, he does.
I mean,
I'm just saying, his.
I put at it,
of course.
But I think that's why people liked it. But you hit on something that's really interesting. I don't know if you would get away with that show on CBS. I don't think they would have worked their arms around it.
No.
I'm not sure they would have on NBC. They might have been on ESPN. I'm sure they're kicking themselves for not trying to do that, right? And now everybody tries to replicate it.
Yeah.
And it's tough show to replicate. I mean, you say Kenny. Kenny's like, it'd be like you and Calais Campbell hosting the show, and I'm that little guy who's just agitating everybody. Like, that's what Kenny is, right? He's like this little dude, even though he played in the NBA, compared to those two guys.
Yeah.
Football at 5 coming up. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Well, the Ding Dong Doorbell Camera Company is at it again. This time they're sharing your internet with your neighbors, and there's no way to know which neighbors. And some internet providers could even snag your account because it most likely goes against your internet agreement. Allowing strangers to connect to your internet is inherently risky. This sharing could also pose a risk that even third parties could get access to all of your data. That's why smart shoppers only use SafeTouch Security. A SafeTouch system assures you complete peace of mind that you have the best security available, and even your cameras are protected by SafeTouch systems. With the SafeTouch system, you not only get the fastest possible emergency